Hey everybody, my name's Travis and welcome back to Timescribe. This is where I'm documenting my journey with affordable watches. And today we have an interesting topic. We're going to be talking about AliExpress, the pros and the cons of buying from AliExpress, and some reasons why I think people buy from AliExpress and why you might consider buying from them in the future. If you haven't already, I'd like you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It's free! And who doesn't like free? Alright, enough waffling. Time to get into this list of AliExpress pros and cons. I'm going to be starting off with the pros because this list is much shorter. I think the number one thing why people buy from AliExpress is the price. Okay, you're getting an insane amount for your money. None of these watches are over $200, yet they all feature sapphire crystals on each of them. Fantastic. They also all have pretty decent movements for the price. We've got an NH35 in this Phylida. We've got a PT5000 in this Cronos, a high beat movement. And we've got an original Sea-Gull ST17, I believe, in this one over here. These are fantastic for the price that you're paying, which is not much. By the way, you can check out full reviews for each of these watches on the channel. I'll link them below and throw something up here. You're also getting a quality level of finishing, and I mean really good. Look at the chamfered edge running along the case of this Cronos. This is the refinement you don't expect for a $200 watch. Similarly, on this Phylida Omega Aquaterra homage, look at the finishing. You've got a mix of brushed and polished surfaces. Brushing on the side, a nice polished edge all along the lug, and look at the intern. Look at the twist on the lug. You've got brushing in there again. It's fantastic. You won't find any better below about $500 when it comes to a big brand like Seiko or even some Swiss brands. This is why people buy from AliExpress. This is the pro, the great value for money. But we don't live in a land of sunshine and rainbows. This is not AliExpress. You do kind of get what you pay for. And so let's look at some of the cons of buying from AliExpress. And we're going to start with the most obvious one, QC. These three watches I've purchased with my own money, and maybe I just have terrible luck, but two of them arrived with what I think are QC issues. Amazingly, the cheapest one on this list, the Sea-Gull, no QC issues. Wonderful watch. But the Cronos, I think it does have a QC issue. If you want to know what it is, it's something to do with the movement, and I would go check it out in the full review. But the movement just doesn't wind properly. And for a $200 watch, I guess that's okay. Not really, is it? You still want a working watch for your money. With this Phylida, you've got a definite QC issue in grime being present on the 6 o'clock index, and it really detracts from the appeal of this watch. Now, when you do have QC issues, the last thing you want is bad customer service, but I think unfortunately that's exactly what you're going to get. AliExpress has notoriously bad customer service. You'd be lucky if you get any of these watches replaced. At most, probably what you'll get is a discount. At worst, nothing. Right? You've got to accept that when buying from AliExpress. The third is something that I don't think people talk about a lot, but the quality varies greatly between brands. If you pay more money, you still get more. You get better finishing, less QC issues, I believe. I think this is something that you need to be aware of when buying from AliExpress still. Another reason why people don't like buying from AliExpress is because most of their watches are homages, as all three of these are, right? This is homaging the Omega Aquaterra, the Nomos Tangente, and the IWC Le Petit Prince Mark 18. Fantastic watches, but they do strike us as kind of copies of the designs of those much more expensive watches, and certain people just aren't comfortable with the copied designs. These are not copies, they're all real, marked under different names. They don't pretend to be a copy, but there are remarkable similarities, let us say, to some of these bigger watches, and some people aren't okay with that. Another thing is that some homages get really close to the price of the real deal. I've seen a lot of Seiko homages on AliExpress, Seiko SKX homages, or Seiko Turtle homages, and I just don't understand these, to be honest. They look fantastic, you get great specs and great value for your money, but when you can get a Seiko for a few $100 more, is it really worth it? I'm not sure. This is a decision that you would have to make. But I think these are the cons when buying from AliExpress. So, considering all these pros and cons, what are some reasons people buy from AliExpress, and why do I think you should buy from AliExpress? Well, I think the first thing is it's a great starting point for the uninitiated in mechanical watchmaking. Where else can you pick up a real mechanical watch with some actually fantastic finishing for about $100 or less? Well, you could go to Seiko or Orient, maybe even Citizen, although I think it's going to be a bit tough. Most of their offerings are in solar powered quartzes. But you can get a fantastic watch from AliExpress with some iconic designs for $100 or less. I think it's a great starting point if you haven't bought a mechanical or automatic watch before to get one from AliExpress. The second reason I think people might look at AliExpress is to see if better quality finishing means anything to you, or do you just like the designs? San Martin, Cronos, like this one here, and Seastern are now offering superb quality for the price you pay, even though they are getting a bit more expensive. You do at least get to test the waters and see if you would pay more for better quality finishing, or if you're okay with the mediocre finishing you'll find on most watches under the price of about $500. The third reason why I think you would buy from AliExpress is if you just want a decent watch for a decent price. Most people in the world honestly do not want a mechanical watch or a really well finished watch. They just want a decent watch that works well for a decent price. And if that's you, then I think AliExpress has a lot of stuff for you as well. The Sea-Gull, under $100 for a really well designed dress watch that works well. I don't know if you can beat that anywhere else. The fourth reason why you might want to buy from AliExpress is if you don't care about brand or history, you just like the designs, and there are plenty of people out there. That's why Submariner homages are so popular, right? And that's why I have these three watches over here, because I really just love the designs. And these watches, they're all about $3,000 and up. Some getting into really expensive prices now. Um, if you don't care about the brand, the history, you just want the design, maybe you can't even afford the watch, then I think AliExpress is a great place to look for these great iconic designs for a decent price that won't leave you without a kidney. The fifth and final reason why I think you might want to try out AliExpress is to test the waters, so to speak, to see if more expensive watches if you like them or not, and whether you're willing to stump up the cash to get them, or whether you're okay with your more affordable watches, right? The Omega Aquaterra must be one of my favorite watches of all time. I think the design is almost perfect. But I wanted to see, would I would I be willing to stump up the cash to get an Omega Aquaterra? I know the finishing's different, the quality's not the same, even the dimensions are a bit different from the real deal. But I think this wearing this gave me another experience of how it would feel, how it would look on wrist, to approximate that and to tell me whether I'd be willing to pay my hard-earned cash to get an Omega Aquaterra. Now I can comfortably tell you I am not. But I can also comfortably tell you that if I saved up for long enough, I would definitely get an IWC Le Petit Prince or some other kind of um, Flieger watch that would be more expensive. I just love the design. It feels great when I'm wearing it. And honestly, I think I could wear this watch every day of my life. But if I didn't try these out, I would never have known. And this is, I think, the great benefit from AliExpress. You're paying relatively little money for a lot, and you get to test out things that you haven't tried before. I think it's just a great experience. You do have to be aware about QC issues and the customer service, though. That's something that's not going to go away. But if you don't mind these things and you don't mind a bit of borrowed design, shall we say, then I think AliExpress is a great place to buy watches. Alright, guys, this is enough waffling from me. I'm going to leave you here. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the bell icon, and I'll see you next time in the near future for another watch video. Alright, bye.